Hello everyone, you're watching SK Live. I'm your host Indranil Basu. Today we have Mr. Sanjay Jagdale, the longest serving selector of the Indian cricket team, the former BCCI secretary, and also the team manager, someone who's worn so many hats in Indian cricket. Welcome, very good evening, sir. Welcome to SK Live.
Good evening, Indranil. Nice talking to you.
Sir, I often wonder, you played so many roles in Indian cricket as a selector. As I just introduced our viewers about you, I was talking about you. So, which role you actually enjoyed? Was it being a selector, being the coach, being the administrator, the being the manager? Which role really touched your heart?
The role, Indrajit, to be fair, I'll reply the role which I enjoyed least was as administrator. Basically,
Okay.
I enjoyed playing the game.
Yeah.
Enjoyed playing the game. Then definitely I enjoyed doing coaching and enjoyed the role as a selector also. It was also challenging. So, but administration definitely not enjoyed that much. That much.
But
Although I was in administration for quite a long time in MP Cricket Association as well as in BCCI also.
yes,
But
and
actually, literally, I was forced into administration by at the MPCA level in 1998 by the late Mother of India, who was
yes.
very keen that those days I was doing immediately after my retirement. I started coaching, and in 97, if you recollect the match between Sri Lanka and India was played at Indore, which was abandoned because of the bad wicket.
Yes,
So
yes.
it became a big issue in Indian cricket, and Indore was removed from the international venue. And after that incident, the late Mother of India was very keen that I should come into administration. And the late Mr. A.W. Kanbadkar, the former BCCI secretary, he also literally forced me into this. I was never keen on becoming an administrator. So I can say that my role, which I enjoyed the least, was as administrator.
And who would forget that moment when you resigned and people wanted you to stay back after that spot fixing hit IPL in 2013. You were the secretary and you said enough. I'm not going to continue. I had my fill.
Yeah, I never regretted that decision. It
Yeah,
was nobody
of course.
forced me. I thought I can't be part of this thing now at this stage, and somebody had to take that responsibility also among the office bearers. Somebody had to.
Yes,
So
yes.
it was, and I never regretted that decision. Although I was very keen on doing some projects for Indian cricket. Especially, I was working on the museum at BCCI. I had engaged the Lord's curator also. We had cleaned the space also at the BCCI headquarters for museum. So it was the ambition. It was if I had stayed for 6 months, we would have come up with the Museum of Indian Cricket, which unfortunately nobody has taken interest after that, which is very surprising. We should have when Austrian Cricket Board can have or ECB can have. Why not we?
Yes, yes. And where were you planning this museum? Was it in Mumbai or somewhere?
Yeah, in the Mumbai, the BCCI office only. It,
Okay.
it, it was at the third floor. It was at the third floor. It would have been, and everything that we got the 10 crore rupees sanctioned, then engaged the Museum curator, and the work was on progress, and we were planning to have the furniture and all those things.
But you did a lot, sir. When you were the secretary, you always had a pro player approach. You were pro domestic players. You did so much for the curators. You did so much for the former cricketers. Widows. Widow wives. You did lot for a lot of people during your
No,
tenure. And
I slightly disagree because see, I did nothing specially for anybody because any this is the job of all the administrator. See, basically, Indranil, I'm a firm believer that unless you improve your domestic cricket, playing
yeah,
conditions also, facilities for players also, infrastructure, unless you work on them and keep on improving it, you can't be competitive at international level. And I think wickets were a very, very important role to play in a development
Absolutely.
of a cricket. I think. So
Absolutely.
I was lucky to have a good committee of curators with people like Daljit Singh and
Yes.
Venkat Sundaram and Dheeraj Parsana and all these guys. They were all very sincere. They were keen to. I just gave them a free hand. And we started a curators course also, which was a new thing for which they have been working earlier also, but nobody was interested. Nobody was taking any interest in wicket. Also wickets and playing condition grounds and all these facilities, they play a major role. They play a big role in the
Absolutely.
development of cricket and cricketers.
Yeah. So we are seeing what is happening when you're up against good pace attack in Australia. We'll come to that later. But
Yeah,
you are also one of the most honest board officials we saw in at work. The way you went around doing your business, that was really special. Those days, I remember we were covering as reporters. The way you addressed every little bit of Indian cricket, every detail was addressed by the regime under you.
see, this is the job of any administrator. If you take responsibility, then you have to perform. You have to do your duty honestly and as well as you can do. At least give your 100% to whatever job you are doing.
Absolutely.
So basically, I always, as I said earlier, I enjoyed playing cricket. So I always thought my mindset was that of a cricketer only. Even when I became a administrator, and that helped me a lot. That helped me a lot in different roles also.
And people still talk about you as a selector. You are probably the longest serving selector in Indian cricket.
Yeah, I was there for 8 years. I had two terms. Yeah,
Yes,
enjoyed doing a lot. Enjoy, and I feel
and
that was the golden period of Indian cricket also, right from 2000 to 2008. Some fantastic cricketers, some fantastic cricket. I was lucky, fortunate to see all those things and interact with such great cricketers like Sachin or Saurav and Rahul Dravid. A lot of good cricketers and terrific team we had during that period also.
the test team you picked, how many actually went on to play 100 test matches? That is remarkable.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So many players and
So many
I,
players.
from 2000 to 2005, I think the Indian batting order, the batting lineup was as good a batting lineup as any in the history. I just see the variety in the class, right from Viren Sehwag at the top to, and all they were different
Yes.
type of player, all entertainers also. All entertainers,
Yes.
nobody will be anybody will be glad to pay and watch them play. Just see
Yes.
the variety. Viren Sehwag, number
Yes.
three Rahul, number four Sachin, then Saurav, and VVS. What quality, what class was there?
Absolutely.
See,
Absolutely.
unfortunately, those days we lacked the bowling which we have now. The quality of bowling which Indian cricket has now, if we had that bowling those days, this bowling, I think it would have been world beaters with this bowling.
Absolutely. So that batting lineup from that era and bowling from this era, you combine it, that's an
Yeah,
unbeatable
yeah,
sight.
you combine and you have a perfect balance. You have a perfect balance then. Yeah,
So why
absolutely.
why
There were some outstanding bowlers like Anil Kumble and Zahir Khan and Harbhajan. They are outstanding bowlers, but like the balance we have now, the variety and the competition among the bowlers, which is I'm witnessing for the first time in Indian cricket. We never had it so good as far as bowling was concerned.
and due credit should be given to Bharat Arun for putting that thing together. You have
Yeah,
resources.
absolutely, absolutely. Bharat has done a fantastic job. With low profile, not many people take his name or give credit to him. But then if you criticize the coach, then you give credit to them also when they do
Absolutely.
well.
In fact, wherever we are playing, whichever competition, whichever series, we are banking a lot on the fact that we have the best bowling attack in the world today.
Absolutely. I would not say best at but yeah, definitely right there, right at the top. So I since Australia is winning and the recent performance of their bowler at Adelaide and their consistency, so need to even for that matter, even England also. But yeah, we are right very close. You can't say which attack is better, but England, India. Australia, they are all top class bowling combinations, definitely.
So were you part of that Adelaide Test match? Did you see the match on, on TV? Because I know you
Yeah,
love Test.
I enjoyed Test cricket. I enjoy. You know that I
Yes.
always enjoyed watching Test cricket. I don't enjoy T20 that much because I consider that cricket is not fair fair with the players, not especially with the bowlers.
Yeah.
And it is very predictable. That uncertainty of Test cricket and the pressure that which players have to handle. That see the real cricketers, you see the real cricket, the top cricketers in Test cricket only. But
Absolutely.
yeah, T20 is a great entertainer. It has its place. It has popularized cricket, no doubt about it. It has attracted a lot of new spectators, new generation, which is very good, which has been good for players also financially and their careers. A lot of credit should go to T20, especially IPL.
Yeah. So what damage? It has also done a little bit of damage to our Test batting, to
Yeah,
our temperament.
so it happens. See, this happens usually with all the field. Whatever it has its pluses and minuses. Definitely, yeah.
So, but
The
what exactly?
unfortunate part is the most unfortunate part is which you just mentioned is players not younger players not aiming to play for the country. They are more keen on playing IPL, which is very unfortunate. They should be
Yeah,
aiming for IPL also. But
absolutely.
any youngster entering into cricket or wishing to get at the good level, he should be targeting to play for India. Ambition should be play for country. Then IPL comes automatically. It comes.
So what do you think went wrong in our we know what went wrong, but what is your approach? I mean, how do you see the way we batted, the way we couldn't score in the Adelaide Test match? What led to our loss? Such humiliation never happened. Such mixed.
Yeah, it was shocking. It was shocking. Yeah, it was one of those things. I think that application was also missing. And this 50-60 runs lead is a very dicey thing. Very dicey. You get complacent and you lose wickets, and then suddenly you are under pressure. So I think Virat Kohli's run out in first inning was a big turning point of this match. Big turning point of this match because he was batting beautifully. If we had extended the lead, things could have been different. But yeah. But I still feel the better team won. They bowled exceptionally well. They bowled, and we batted poorly. Nobody can deny that we batted poorly.
So, but is it also the lack of experience of playing with pink ball at the highest level that also cost us dear? Was it the reason also with the way we collapsed?
Uh, See, Indrajit, Indrajit, I will go back a bit. See, you are going on a major tour, and you have just played IPL.
Yeah.
See, mentally and technically or physically, how much well prepared you are for a major tour? You are playing 4 Test matches in different conditions, totally different conditions, with some lot of youngsters also who have not played in that country or at that level. So I think preparation should have been better, could have been better. But unfortunately, the timing of IPL and because of the special circumstances, I think we could not prepare as well as we should have or we could have.
But we stayed there for more than a month, I guess. We were we had
Yeah,
to quarantine.
staying there is okay, but I don't know how much practice or see match practice. We had 2-day matches, but for a lot of youngsters who are playing for the first time in Test cricket, it's not that easy. Going in totally different conditions. We play on subcontinent and wickets, and then you tour England or Australia or South Africa. It's totally different ball game. Totally different ball game. Need to be prepared. We have been preparing well also, but then again, this is where the conditions of the wicket and domestic cricket comes into picture. That see, not only just before the tour, but you should have good wickets for domestic cricket also, right from the junior level. This is what I was focusing on.
Yes.
And our curators have done fantastic job. They have come up with some very good wickets. We have very good curators now. but we still need to work on it. Domestic cricket, there's areas to improve.
Absolutely. But sir, we saw how things happened in Adelaide. Australian pace attack almost broken our. I mean, they've attacked our backbone so badly. We're badly hurt. Do you think in the next Test match we can turn it around without Virat Kohli?
See, nothing is impossible, but it will be very tough without Virat. Even with Virat, it would have been very tough. But nothing is impossible. See, what mindset we have, do we really back ourselves? That is very important. But it will be tough. It will be very tough, especially without Virat. Because Virat was one. See, unless somebody counter attacks.
Yes.
In Australia, like you see 2004, the way, or 2009 Sehwag attack, Viren Sehwag top at the inning. See that attack, somebody you need to have who can counter attack.
That is very important. So, but who can play the role of Virendra Sehwag in this team?
Oh, Viren Sehwag, you don't get players like that
anymore.
What a player! I can always consider him as the #1 match winner batsman for India. What a player!
In Test cricket, definitely.
Yeah, absolutely. 2 triple centuries. Just see the big scores, triple hundreds and double hundreds in Test cricket. And from a batsman who is an attacking player, who plays shots, who is not a defensive player.
But we always had a superstar waiting in the wing when Sachin went, Virat came. So when we lose a batsman like Virendra Sehwag, so second Sehwag is not to be seen anywhere in the circuit.
Yeah, but we had somebody like Virat Kohli, who is a special player. No doubt about it. Special player. Virat is definitely a great player. But at the top, Viru was at the top of the batting order. Right from the beginning, we can have a good 40-50 runs partnership. The middle, there is no less pressure on the middle order.
Yes. So how do you see in the next Test match in Melbourne, the boxing test match? So do you see India making any change in the top order? Prithvi Shaw, someone else playing in place of Prithvi Shaw, probably a Shubman Gill. You must have seen these youngsters.
Shubman Gill. I think that KL Rahul also sitting out, although he's not done that well in outside the subcontinent tours, but still at least he has experience, and now there is space there. So I think KL Rahul and Shubman Gill looks very talented, but I would prefer to see him batting in the lower orders initially, especially because still I think in Australia, especially if the ball is moving or he is good against the short pitch balls. He's good against short of length ball and rising ball. But I still feel to start with, if he can bat at 5-6, that will be better for him.
So, I mean, you've seen so many Indian team going and playing in Australia. Which team, which series was really remarkable? You still, sit back as a former selector, and you sit back and think, oh, this was the tour. Really, India did really well. They couldn't win the game, but they did really well. Which was that series?
As far as Test series is concerned, 2004 when we drew the series with Saurav as captain, it was a very good series, outstanding series. Then 2007 when that monkey gate happened.
Yes.
That was also a very close series where then Viru got 200s, Viru got a 190, and we won at Perth. The fall place, Perth, we won that Perth test. Nobody ever must have thought that India can win at Perth. So, fantastic achievement that was. And again, that was a terrific batting lineup. We had terrific batting lineup.
So, I remember interacting with you when you were the selector. And before Pujara played Test cricket, you always advocated that Pujara should be playing. And then he had some injuries issue and all that. Then he came back. Now we are seeing Pujara. He did well in the last series we played against Australia. But somehow we are not seeing that fluent Pujara. There's a lot of accusation. He plays slow cricket. It takes a lot of time. At an age where people need those scoring. At a 5 run per over, 4 run per over. Pujara doesn't fit that sort of he doesn't fulfill that criteria. How do you see Pujara? Do you see Pujara playing 100 Test matches for India if he is not able to, sort of script the same sort of success he had scripted in the earlier series?
But Indranil, how can we forget him winning the 2 Test matches for us in the previous two?
Yes, that's
He
what I'm
got
saying.
100. He has 3 Test 100s out of 4, and
Yes.
he batted as he is batting now. That is how he plays. But we won the series with Pujara scoring 300s. So we can't accuse him of playing slowly, because that is his way of batting. He can't change. He can't be attacking player now. At this stage of his career, he is good at what he is good at. He is doing what he's doing is best for him. So this is the way he has developed as a player, as a batsman. He can't change now, and you can't accuse him of not winning. He has won matches for us. He has won matches for us. There is no doubt about it. Both in Australia, even in India, also subcontinent wickets. Also, he is that outstanding batsman. Rahul Dravid was also. Rahul was a bit slightly more attacking, because he had. I think he used to play shots also, but you need a batsman like Pujara also, especially when the Test match is over in 3 days. So why not? If he could have batted 2 days more, we would have saved the Test match. So there is still space for a batsman like him in Test cricket.
There is. So there is also suggestions from a lot of quarters that Rahul Dravid should have been there in Australia, helping the team with the batting bit, making them understand, because he was the wall, as we all know. So what are your thoughts on that?
Hey, Rahul is an outstanding coach also. He has done fantastic job with the Indian A team also, and he will definitely be very useful. But see, there has to be coordination. I don't know what the team management or team is looking for, but if he had to come in, he should have been given some time also. Whether he is also keen, that is also important. Whether he wants to come and join the team, that is also important. It has to be there has to be some mutual understanding with among the players and management and coach. And so unless we know that, it's difficult to. First thing is whether Rahul is keen to come or not. That is also equally important, and whether the team wants him or not, that is equally also important. So because earlier this thing has happened, I would not like to take names, but there have been issues earlier with the team players and coaches and in the Indian cricket. So that need to be avoided. So unless there is mutual respect and mutual coordination, nobody should be thrust upon the team of player. And the keenness of the coach also.
Keenness of the coach also, absolutely. And as I remember, you are part of that committee, and probably you were heading that committee, which picked Anil Kumble as the coach in 2000. 2016.
2016, 17.
17, yeah. And Kumble was the coach. So I mean, we often wonder why was he given such a great coach in Anil Kumble? He was a great captain in Australia in 2007-8 tour. I remember.
He did a fantastic job as a coach also. Just see the track record. He has done a great job as a coach also. So
we often wonder why was he given 1 year contract only.
Yeah, he was given 1 year contract. Well, yeah, that was decided by BCCI, not the committee. Okay. That was decided by the BCCI, not by the committee. The committee picked him, and then the terms and conditions were decided by the BCCI. Then.
And he was a great captain also in that Australia series 2007-8.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you remember, it was Ravi Shastri who had suggested to you also as a selector that why don't you make him the captain, right?
Yeah, I recollect, but Ravi, by the time Ravi came to me, I had already given my opinion.
Okay.
I still recollect that match at Mohali.
Yes.
When we were picking the team for Australia and captain also. So I had given Dilip Venkateswarlu was chairman. Dilip was a fantastic chairman. He was a fantastic, great chairman. So I had given my opinion to Dilip, and when I came out of the room I was going to the washroom, I met Ravi, and Ravi said, "Sanjay, I said I also have the same opinion I have given. Let us see what happens."
And this is what
Anil did a great job as captain also.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And
Won
this
a
is
series.
the
We won a series against Pakistan also in India. We won a series in Pakistan against Pakistan also.
yes, absolutely. And I remember, this is how fortune is, and then the two stalwarts of the game, Ravi Shastri and Kumble, they were vying for the same slot to
Yeah.
become the coach of the Indian cricket team.
Actually, we had shortlisted 5%.
Yeah.
Ravi, Anil, Tom Moody, Rajput, and Praveen Amre.
Yeah.
So all were very good coaches. All had
In fact, I also remember the time when Lodha committee was going around and talking to a lot of stakeholders of the game, and you had given a lot of good suggestions to the Lodha committee in terms of accountability, in terms of continuity. You were amazing, and so where do you see Lodha committee reforms? I mean, what are your thoughts when you see the current situation?
there are no clarity. It's very unfortunate, Indranil, to be very frank. That issue is still not settled. Started in 2015.
Yes.
Still 5 years on, 5-6 years, and still nobody is certain. Nothing is clear.
Absolutely.
See, everybody has his opinion. Unless it is settled, we can't speak on the. I would not like to speak on the merits of the issue, because since it is in the court and it is with the Supreme Court now, so unless the Supreme Court gives a final verdict, this thing will continue. It will continue. Uncertainty will continue. There are a lot of uncertainty in a lot of things. Clarity, not enough clarity for state decisions. Also, a lot of state decisions following different lines. BCCI also not very clear. Office base not clear. The earlier it is settled, the better for Indian cricket. Yeah.
I mean, because at least we know the clear picture where it's
Yeah.
heading, how it's heading. So
Yeah.
and now, I mean, we're struggling in Australia. We're seeing what is happening in Australia. A lot of people are blaming T20 cricket, but what can anyone do? The fans love T20 cricket. I mean, that's the market-driven force.
Yeah. You can't do that. And all the countries are playing, so nothing special about it. My point was only about the timing and the type of wickets we are playing on. Nothing else. Nothing wrong. This is part of international cricket now. T20 is a must for, as far as revenue generation is concerned. It is a must for all the stakeholders. So it is in the interest of everybody, not only administration or boards. It is in the interest of players also. Nothing wrong in it, and it brings a lot of new fans. It has brought a lot of new fans for the game. So which is great for the game. And need some changes. You see, except for football, all the games have changed. There have been changes in the rules also, except for football. Football is the same as it was 100 years before. But you see any game, you see badminton, you see tennis, you see hockey, you see cricket, you see table tennis. There are changes in the point system or other rules or something like that. But football is as it is. It was played earlier also. So nothing wrong in changes.
Change is the only constant. So, talking about domestic cricket, IPL is one domestic cricket. T20 is the way forward because of testing time, because of the pandemic time. We can't have Ranji Trophy. There's a talk about Ranji Trophy won't be happening this year. There's also a fear that, if you have a 4-day game, someone plays the game, goes back to the hotel, comes back with a fever, and he may have to force, you have to force out, may not be playing for next 3 days. So T20 or a 1-day match at least will give you the guarantee whosoever is coming to the ground, staying inside the bubble, can play the tournament. So how do you see Ranji Trophy? If Ranji Trophy doesn't happen, how will it impact Indian cricket? Will it impact Indian cricket at all this year?
Yeah, it will be very unfortunate for a lot of cricketers. Losing 1 year is a big thing. And you see, you play 7 or 8 years, you play first class cricket, and you lose 1 year. It can affect your career also. See, you are losing opportunities to perform and come up and experience and all those things. Losing money also. See, everybody is not playing international cricket now. These days, Ranji Trophy players are getting good money. So
Yes.
they are losing only that also. See, a lot of cricketers are not employed because there are no jobs now in the government departments or private. Even the private owners are not having teams now. So a lot of first class cricketers are struggling. Lot of first class cricket, which will be very, very unfortunate if we don't have Ranji Trophy.
Sir, it's hopefully it's something BCCI will do about it, and we will move on with some quality cricket. But Jagdale sir, one thing I want to know about your thoughts. The fact that Virat Kohli is not going to, Virat team needs Virat Kohli, and Virat is not going to be with the team for the next 3 Test matches. So during your time, did you face any such challenge from any other cricketer, or was there any sort of thing which happened and the cricketer decided to move on and play for the country? So how do you see this entire thing? There's a lot of people. It's a personal decision. A lot of Australian cricketers, a lot of English cricketers take paternity leave. There's nothing wrong with it. But at a time when team needs him, he's not there. So how do you see that?
See, internally it depends upon the individual. If you see Sachin played international cricket for 22 years, but he had breaks, he had injuries also. So Indian cricket, he missed the West Indian tour, he missed other tours also, Test cricket especially. And the later stage of his career, he was skipping one-day matches or one-day cricket also because he had. So this becomes individual. This becomes an individual case. It depends whether what your body or what your mind is saying. So you need breaks also. There are a lot of cricketers who take breaks. So if you want to have a long career, like tennis players, they play Grand Slams, but they skip some other tournaments to extend their career. Same thing happens in Test cricket also, because Test cricket is tough. And now with T20 and 50 overs also, so much of international cricket, you are playing throughout the year. So human body also needs some break or some rest also. So nothing wrong in it. It's like Sachin, this is how he extended his career.
Absolutely.
So Virat also has been playing. Dhoni was superb. Dhoni also had a very long career. Somehow hats off to his fitness and his mindset, and he continued without any break.
And you were part of that committee that picked Dhoni, right, for India?
Yeah, I was selector then.
Yeah.
And frankly, I still recollect Pranav Roy, who was selector from East Zone. Pranav was twice told me, Sanjay, there is a boy from Bihar who is very unorthodox. You must go and see him. So I still recollect Kirmani was the chairman. Kirmani was our chairman. So this was in 2002-03, and myself and Kiri went to Siliguri just to have a look at Dhoni.
Wow.
There was a trophy match. And Dhoni, I think MS scored 40 odd runs, and then we picked him and we sent him to Kenya and Zimbabwe.
Yeah.
And where he got a big 180 odd run, and then he was into the team. Never looked back. So outstanding cricketer, outstanding captain also. Outstanding cricketer, outstanding person also, I would say.
Outstanding person. Really, I mean, what a cricketer. We miss him so much even now. Like Virat is not going to be there. Rahane is going to captain the side.
So I would like to mention one thing which I have not mentioned to a lot of people here. This was 2007, and I was a selector, and we were having one day. I was with the Indian team in London. We were having one day series. So Dilip was chairman. I was selector. So I joined we had a meeting for selecting the World Cup 2007 first World Cup team.
Yes.
So Sachin Saurav and Rahul had told us, the selectors, that please don't consider us. This is a young men's cricketer, so don't consider us.
Yes.
So we picked a new team, young team, very young team.
Yes.
And I was in London. I had given my opinion. I was in London, and MS Dhoni became captain for the first time.
Yes.
So after that match, the 7th one day was over. I still recollect. In the dressing room, I told MS, "This is a good team, youngsters. मैंने कहा अच्छी टीम है this." And he said, "Sir, World Cup जीत के आएंगे." Just see I was shocked. Just see the confidence. He becomes a captain for the first time.
Yeah.
And he said, "Sir, अब World Cup जीत के आएंगे."
This is in England. This is in England, 2007.
It was in England, 2007. Just 15-20 days before the World Cup started. Just see that this man becomes captain for the first time. He has been told there in London that you are to lead. But then one plus thing with that team was it was young, fresh, and there was no pressure of expectation Nobody expected them to win the World Cup. See, the pressure of expectation, this kills you. This kills the players mostly. So there was no expectation. Nobody thought that they are going to win. Nobody expected them to win. So they enjoyed playing there. They were motivated. They were all young, fresh, but they wanted to prove. Everybody played a role. Gautam Gambhir, Dhoni, Srishant, all they were all. Yusuf, UV was outstanding. So terrific team that was.
But when he said what he said, that we are going to win the World Cup, was he like just made a casual statement? Was it like he was serious when he saw when you saw his face?
No, he was confident. This is what I would like to mention. He was very confident. I could make out. It was not a casual remark. It was very confident. He looked very confident. He spoke very confidently. See, he has always been some aspect. Some incidents I recollect. Always can recollect regarding Dhoni. Another incident was same year. This was during the World Cup match in West Indies, Port of Spain. We were playing Bangladesh. The match which we lost.
Yes.
And India batting. Greg Chappell was captain. I was sitting next to Greg, and Greg was on computer noting each ball and making his comments on. And Dhoni was sitting next to me on the staircase with pads on. He was supposed to be the next batsman. He was the next batsman. And then from the far end, Muralidharan came for the first time in the match, and he started bowling round the wicket. So I was watching him bowling round the wicket for the first time. So I just made a casual remark to Greg Chappell. I said, Greg, I don't know how effective his dusra will be from bowling round the wicket and what line he will bowl. So Greg said, let us see. He was on computer, we were watching on computer. Then suddenly Dhoni told me, sir, uska dusra main yahan se bata dunga. Just see the confidence. Sitting outside in the pavilion, and Indrajit, the first, dusra, third or fourth we bowl, and he clearly spelled out. He said dusra. It was a dusra. So just remarkable cricketing sense and confidence, and he was unique. He was
the way you would watch the ball coming out of your palm.
Yeah,
you know that.
Yeah. He had something special knack. I don't know, but he was. That is why he became a great captain.
Great captain. Good eye, sir. Good eye. What else can we say?
And what temperament?
Spot on with the DRS decisions. Whenever there was he felt right about something.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Superb. In that matter, he was superb in the DRS. Superb. The best thing about it is his cool-mindedness. Never saw him losing temper. Never saw him on the field, off the field also. Never. Very relaxed, very sensible.
So we were
that is why I think he was in a position to take correct decisions. That is why because he was so relaxed, and he was always taking correct decisions, whether on the field or off the field.
Absolutely. So many stories, my God. These are really untold stories. So and coming to Ajinkya Rahane, he's going to captain the team in days to come.
Yeah.
So and I was really impressed when he captained against
Australia. We won that match in Australia against Australia. Absolutely. He brought in Kuldeep Yadav for the first time.
Yes.
Anil Kumble was the coach, and I still feel that India has not handled Ajinkya Rahane as well as they should have.
Yes.
At times.
Yeah.
Dropping him, and then you see, he always performed outside the continent. He won in South Africa. He performed. He has a test hundreds in all the countries. He has 100 in Australia, England, South Africa, New Zealand, everywhere.
Yeah.
And still, 1-2 test matches, bad test match, you drop him. Now, this is not confidence building. See, you create doubt in the mind, and then
you have to be a little patient with failures. I mean, you can't just chop and change for the sake of.
You are bound to have you are bound to have failures. You'll always have. You can't succeed all the time. It happens with everybody. It happens with Pujara. It happened with Virat. He came out with a great batsman like Virat. He struggled in 2014 in England, but he came out. He proved himself.
Absolutely. So I mean, you saw that golden era when we had Vijay Merchant, sir. We had Vijay Hazare. We had Hemu Adhikari. I mean, was it like that? I mean, how was it? Was
No,
it?
I never. I was too junior. Now, I never saw them. Yes, Vijay Manjrekar's last season was my first season in Ranji Trophy. I was in the reserves. I was in the schools and I was picked. I saw him play. That was my first match at Jaipur. This was in '66. And Vijay Manjrekar I saw, but I played a lot of cricket with or against and with people like Hanuman Singh and Salim Durrani, but never with Hazare Sahab was too senior. He was contemporary, my father's contemporary. He played for Holkers also. Hazare Sahab played for Holkers also. He batted at number 8 for Holkers.
Have you seen him batting?
No, I have never seen. But I must be great batsman. Somebody who scores 100 in each innings against Lindwall Miller in Australia. Outstanding.
So was it like this? You fail and you're out of the team. You're not playing the next match. You fail in 2 matches. You're not playing the next match. Was it like that during that time in 60s, 70s, 80s in the team?
No, I don't think those days. I don't think there was that much of competition in Indian cricket. And Hazare Sahab was Vijay Merchant and Hazare. They were the greats. So it was. I don't think it was that much of competition during those days.
So you mean to say because of competition, we are having this kind of, we have too many options to explore.
Yeah, that's why. So that is good to have competition. That is how you improve on your performance as well as team's performance improves. So unless you have the competition now, somebody like Jadeja sitting out, and we had Ajinkya Rahane also sitting out. We had Pujara also sitting out. So good to have that competition, but it should not be at the expense of damaging their confidence. That if they are having bad time, give them a break. There's no harm in it. But 1 or 2 failure and you drop somebody like Pujara or Ajinkya Rahane, it's not good for their confidence also. And this has happened with them.
Yeah, someone like Riddhiman Saha, he didn't play the first Test match in New Zealand. And he got a first Test match in Adelaide, and there is always already a talk that he might be dropped. Rishabh Pant would be inducted in the playing 11. So those energies are not good. You have to back your proven players. Can you hear me, sir?
Yeah.
I'm saying, that Saha versus Pant. There's always
so the think tank was thinking whether to strengthen the batting also. I think the idea was to strengthen the batting by having Pant because he had scored 100 in first class match.
Yeah.
So they must have thought that let us, and there was not going to be much role for a spinner except for Ashwin was playing. So keeping definitely Riddhiman Saha is yards ahead of as a keeper. But Rishabh Pant, we should not forget he has got 200s. That too, 1 in Test 100, 1 in England and 1 in Australia.
Yes.
So he has proved that he has the ability to score runs outside, which not many Indian cricketers have done. Scoring 100 Test 100 in England in their first tour, scoring a Test 100 in Australia in their first tour, which Rishabh Pant has done. So there is potential. Now, how you handle him, that is, and how he utilizes the opportunities, that is also equally important.
So, but there's a school of thought which believes that when you're playing Test cricket, you have to bank on specialists, and wicket keeping is a specialist's job. You can't give it to someone who can bat well and also keep. So give him that slot.
See, but keeping, I totally agree. If you have spinners, if you are playing with spinners, like if you have somebody like Anil Kumble or like Bishan Bedi, Prasanna and Chandrasekhar playing with you always at Kirmani, somebody like Kiri was the best against with them. Sorry. But here they were thinking of playing 3 medium pacers and 1 spinners. So they could have taken a chance with Rishabh Pant also. They could have. That is why they must have been thinking of playing Pant. But if you are playing 2 spinners, then Riddhiman Saha has to play. Then he will have to play because it's more difficult, challenging to keep wickets against spinners. Rahul Dravid managed World Cup 2003. Not only managed, he looked the best wicketkeeper among in the tournament. So Rahul never kept wicket regularly. But since India was playing with fast bowlers, medium pacers during the World Cup, he could do it. I still recollect Rahul was not keen on keeping wickets in Indian wickets, because the Indian wickets he would have tackled spinners also. Spinners, 2-3 spinners would have been in the team, which would have been very challenging for Rahul to keep wickets. Yes. But in South Africa, with 3 or 4 medium pacers, he could manage. So same thing could have been can be in Australia, because if you are playing with 3 medium pacers and 1 spinner, then you can afford to have somebody wicketkeeper who is a better batsman than a keeper.
Okay, that's the thing you're looking at. So, but how did when Rahul Dravid was made to keep? Did he ever tell the selectors, "Look, I'm not enjoying. What is this role given to me?" Because he's
no, actually Rahul had refused. I still recollect this Rahul 2003. Rahul had refused even to Saurav also, because Saurav said he is not keen to do. But then it was John Wright who convinced him. John said, "I will talk to him," and John Wright convinced him. Because the idea, it was John Wright who said you need a wicketkeeper who can bat in top 6 in the World Cup one day team. Then only you can play with 5 bowlers. So unless you are a wicketkeeper batsman, you can't play with 5 bowlers or have a genuine all-rounder, which we never had. After Kapil Dev, which we never had. Till now, we have Hardik Pandya. But so John was very keen that we should have wicket. During the Challenger Trophy, we tried Pankaj Dharmani, Vikram Rathore. We tried them if they can keep wicket also. But Rahul was a better option, because Rahul was a certainty as a batsman. So he agreed. It was John Wright who convinced him.
Yeah, he was brilliant. I mean, what a brand ambassador of the game, sir. The way he carried himself, even now.
Yes. What a player, what a person.
Sort of respect. Every cricketer in the current team has, even the coaching staff, all of them love Rahul Dravid and Sachin Tendulkar. These are the two.
Terrific team man. Rahul, terrific team man. You give any role, he will go. Any number, he will go. He opened the inning. He was a natural number 3, but he batted number 6. Calcutta Test, if you recollect, 2000 India Test match. First inning he batted at number 3.
Yeah.
And in the second inning he batted at number 6 with a terrific partnership, historic partnership with VVS and
yes.
So he batted at number 6. He was shifted regularly. He was never settled. Later on he kept on batting at number 3. He settled down at 3. But he was always shifted. He opened when he became captain. He opened also. There was no opener, so he opened against Pakistan.
So
and I recollect another incident I will give. Rahul, now since we are talking about Rahul, which I always have highest regard for him as a player, as a person. This is again 2007 England series, and second match at Bristol, one-day match. Rahul batted at number 3. India won the match. Rahul scored, I think, 80-90, which not out somebody. I was there. He scored 80-90 not out batting at number 3. Gautam was having his tour. Gautam Gambhir and Uthappa, both of them were having their first tour of England. So Gautam had batted in the middle order in the first match. So I was talking to Rahul and he said, next match I will send Gautam at number 3. Now after scoring 80-90 not out, which captain or which other batsman will give his number, that too in top 3? Either opening slot or one day, who will give his number and come to number 6? So he exchanged his batting position. He gave number 3 to Gautam, and he himself came down at number 6. Hardly got 7 or 8 balls to face in the next match. So he was great team man, great team.
Absolutely. Sir, we have a viewer asking, Ritesh Srivastava, he's asking, please ask Jagdale sir about how he coached Hirwani, whether he could have carried on to become a much bigger player. Narendra Hirwani, the leg spinner, the famous leg spinner. He was a good selector also.
Yeah, Hirwani was an outstanding bowler, no doubt about it. And he had success at international as well as domestic. Just see the domestic records. He used to pick up wickets. But another Hero was another case where the selectors could have handled him better. They should have handled him, but he always had competition with Anil Kumble. But they were totally different. Anil was a great bowler, totally different bowler. And Hiru was dropped. If I recollect, he picked up 6 wickets against New Zealand in Cuttack. And after that, he didn't play a test match for 1.5 years. So this is again how you handle a player, how you build his confidence, how you need some luck also. You need some luck. And those days you needed some godfather also.
I often wonder why you didn't play for India. Sort of cricket you had. The way you played.
Frankly, I was very average cricketer. No, I was never that good. I was just an average cricketer. I was just an average. No, not.
The way you conducted yourself as a selector, the way you moved around, spoke to cricketers before you dropped them, you had a word with them. You always had a lovely way of doing things. But coming to that coaching bit, you also coached a lot of cricketers in the past. This is a strange thing which has happened. For the Lodha committee, they say an administrator has to be below 70. He can't go beyond 70 years of age. But for coaches and selectors, you can't be beyond 60. I find that little weird because you're missing out on big names who can really serve Indian cricket in a big way. Don't you agree with me, sir?
Yeah, I agree to that. I think age doesn't come into this selectors. Why should I? See, there are a lot of cricket world over. You will see a lot of selectors who are above 60. And even in India, there are a lot of cricketers who are above 60 who can be very good cricketers. Somebody like, say, Dilip Vengsarkar has just spoken about that today. I agree with what Dilip has said. I agree. There is a lot of truth in that, what he has said. He himself has been, if Dilip becomes a chairman again, he will do a super job. No doubt about somebody like Dilip, or there may be other former cricketers also. And so age, I'm surprised. See, you can have a parliamentary at the age of 80. If a member of parliament you can have at the age of 80, why not somebody who, this is not that tough a job. If you are in politics, you have to travel a lot. You have to address a lot of meetings, public meetings. You have a hectic life.
Absolutely, so true. And we know it's so unfortunate. We don't get selectors like you anymore. And I'm not trying to lay my fingers on anyone else, because we had good people. We had MSK Prasad, who did a great job.
No, we had some. MSK also did a
good job. He came with a lot of credential, and a lot of domestic good cricketers like Jatin Paranjpe. He was there as a selector. Then Gagan Khoda was again one good series. He had gone through the grind. And so many stories. The kind of exposure you had as a selector, I don't think the sort of literature you carry, the literature you have, I don't think anyone has this kind of knowledge, and so many untold stories.
No, I will not this kind of knowledge or anything. There are a lot of people with more knowledge. There are a lot of good people, a lot of good cricketers, a lot of good selectors also. Everybody has contributed in his own way. There will be some exception who don't do it honestly, or that always will be there. You will have some people who are not doing the job properly, or somebody. You always have, but most of them have done good job also. See, most of the selectors. I was lucky to have somebody like Chandu Borde as chairman. The very first time I became a selector in 2000. Terrific experience I had with Chandu. I learned so much with talking to him.
Yes.
Great cricketer, no doubt about it. Great person also. Learned so much. Just like we disagreed also. Not that we disagreed, but I learned so much about the game just by talking to Chandu bhai. I still am in touch with him. Still in touch with him. So it has been a journey which I have enjoyed thoroughly.
Yeah, I know you, and they love you also, and they respect you because sort of the honesty you had throughout. Whichever role you were given, you played everything with so much of honesty.
Yeah, honestly, you are supposed to be honest for everything you do, and nothing special about it. See, what you are doing, you are doing honestly.
but there are a lot of
You are
cases
also
of
doing it honestly.
there are a lot of stories about officials, doing ethically avoidable things which they can ethically avoid. Still, they do. A lot of officials do. We see in the current setup, but we're not going to get into that. But for all those viewers who joined, Sanjay Jagdale sir is also custodian of a huge number of cricket books from all across the world. He's probably, and that's why he talked about that museum, a museum and probably a library. I mean, he talked about the museum, and he's got a library at home, with so many books. Can you tell us about what is your latest collection right now?
I still don't sleep without reading something on cricket, Indra. Still,
Yes.
I can't sleep without reading something on cricket.
Yes.
And yeah, so yeah, that is my number one hobby. It has always been. It has always been. And any cricket book which comes out has to be with me. It has to come to me. So
this is so lovely, and it was lovely chatting with you, sir.
thank you.
I mean, thanks for coming on SK Live. You took your time out and I gladly accepted my offer to come on this show on such a short notice. Thanks a lot.
Always pleasure talking to you, Indra.
Pleasure
Pleasure
is all
talking
mine.
to you. Thank you for inviting me. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for coming. Good night,
Thank
sir.
you. Right,
Thank you,
bye.
sir.
Thank